Hello. So I've been on the. I'm here doing an update. I'm still here. I'm still alive. Every day is another day. And the weird thing is, I'm feeling better. It's like, how do I explain it? Alright. We had floods here a while ago. It was pretty big. Biggest floods we've had since the 70s. And over that time, I felt that death passed me by. I honestly felt like I was meant to die, and that was my destiny. And I felt I was flooded in, I was here by myself, and I felt like my destiny was to die alone in a bed, but I didn't. And after that, I just felt like I was gonna make it, and no matter what the doctor said, I just kept going. So I was pissing blood, like already bloodish. And then a friend came down and did another healing on me. And that's when I started really pissing blood. And it got really scary. And I wasn't going to the toilet very much anymore. And I couldn't sweat. And I was in a lot of pain, too much pain. And like they said, my test said that I shouldn't even be walking around. So I went to hospital, and that week and a bit in hospital, I changed all my meds, and I stopped having their stuff, a lot of their stuff. I'm still on the Fentanyl patch, which is the closest thing to opium that we can get, from what I've heard. And I've researched opium, and yeah, there was people always that have had. Is it addictive? Well, I don't know what addiction is really. I just think that some people need things. Were there opium dens, and did Alan Edgar Poe, was he addicted? Well, probably. Just like people have been in bars, or sat with, poets have sat with a bottle of whiskey or alcohol. Alcoholics have been around for a long time. People in pain have been around for a long time, and they self-medicate in all different ways. But is opium the evil drug that has been made out to be, like what heroin has ended up being, and then methadone? See, what happened is that once World War II came and Hitler got involved, Hitler's the one that synthesized. He came up with all synthesizing things, and all his experiments that he did has had a lot to do with modern day science. A lot. And not just modern day science. Marketers revere him. Businessmen revere him. As much as he's hated, he's loved, because they're power-hungry people are in awe of the power that he held. And they feel like, I don't know if they think, I guess, that they could do it maybe better, but use some of his tactics, which a lot of people do with McDonald's, because McDonald's are known as one of the best marketing companies in the world. So people might frown on McDonald's, but they'll still use their ideas, their systems, their processes, the way they do things, because it's been successful. So a lot of things have been taken from these times, and I'm not saying we shouldn't do that, because that's evolution. That is how we evolve and grow, is whether it's what not to do or what to do that we learn as we go. So that's evolution, and we're going to use things as we go. But to take nature away from us, synthesize it, tell us that nature is evil, it's just bullshit. And I know there's a million people out there on YouTube saying that, but there's not a million people with polycystic kidney disease that are supposed to be dead here on YouTube right now, today, drinking milkshakes and making their own cannabis wax is what I make. I've worked it out now. So what I do is I don't make CBD, RO, Rick Simpson oil. That's not my... I think Rick Simpson, good on him, that was for cancer. So thank you, Rick Simpson, and I mean it, thank you so much. Wow, you're amazing. And that's the stuff that I first got, was your oil, and fantastic stuff, really good stuff. I make mine with, he suggests, he says you can use all different kinds of alcohols, but he advises to use benzene, or shellite it's called in Australia, or lighter fluid, not butane but benzene, or ZINE, not ZENE, which is a poison. However, I've found that the isopropyl is, from research, a lot less toxic, and it comes so clean. And if you let it dry after you've completely evaporated it, then put it into a tin and leave it on a heat mat or warm. I just put it on my computer where it's warm and let those last residues of alcohol come off. You'll be left with a wax, and the wax you can roll up. I've got some here. There's my bit. So I can only make little bits at a time because I'm on the terminal illness cannabis scheme, and I'm only allowed to have certain amounts. So I can only make tiny little bits. But what I do, even that is scary, because the amount of leaf that I need to make that tiny little bit is over my limit. But happens in a very short time. So I won't tell you when. It's very secret, and I could be done somewhere else. I'm not telling. Okay, coppers. If you want to come and get me, then you won't. I know, it's not worth it for you. But anyway, so this is what I do. I'm rolling it in my fingers, see? And then I put it in my mouth, under my tongue, and I'll leave it there. So wax, for me, isopropyl, not CBD, full spectrum wax, cannabis, marijuana wax is what I use. And the reason why is because chlorophyll is pulled out with the isopropyl, which some say makes it not as strong as using some of the other, as using, say, benzene. But I've looked up what chlorophyll does, and for my illness, I don't know about cancer. It says it's good for cancer too, but I'm not telling you what to do. But for my illness, the chlorophyll is exactly what I need. And when I put it in my mouth, I can feel it. And when I have the other one, it's not the same. It's good. They both work as a painkiller and nausea relief. But I believe the isopropyl is cleaner. And if you could get proper, like Everclear over in US, I would use that. But yeah, the cleaner alcohol you can get, I wouldn't worry about pulling out the chlorophyll, because just eat more, have a little bit more. If it's not as strong, mine seems just as strong. So, but if it's not as strong to you, well, that's what seems to be the problem. I think it tastes more chemically, the other one, but this one seems just as works, just doesn't taste as chemically, and it's got the added benefits of chlorophyll, which is a regenerator and regrows cells. Is the molecules in chlorophyll are almost exactly the same as blood, apart from the iron is magnesium in chlorophyll, and in us it's iron. So it's really similar to blood, so it works really good with blood, and that's my biggest problem, because kidneys filter the blood. So for me, definitely I would advise, if you've got polycystic kidney disease and you're going to give cannabis a go, I would suggest using the isopropyl method. I'm using the Rick Simpson method, but using isopropyl and doing it down to a wax. So it's completely got no alcohol left in it. So you can use a vacuum as well to get it out, the last little bits of residue, so that it's really quite thick, and then you can just stick it in your mouth. I find eating it is the best. So I'm still supplementing with bongs, and not as many though. I don't need as many. I don't really need as much of anything with this, like benzos or everything. I don't feel like I need as much. I feel calmer. I feel like I'm on the other side. I feel like I'm healing now. Like I said, my disease is dead, and I am now growing new kidneys. And you are here to witness it. So I'm just starting, and this is just the beginning, and I'm still not able to do much. I'm pretty tired. I don't have much energy today. I was exhausted because I did a little bit yesterday making the wax. So today I was exhausted just from doing that. So it's pretty hard for me to get anything done, but I've got a carer, so she does everything for me, thank God. And I just make my milkshakes, and because I like to make them because my goal is to have a shower every day, and my next goal, that was my first goal, because my old carer, I didn't have showers. I was getting to a point where I wasn't having showers. Oh, it wasn't just a point. I'm embarrassed to say it, but yeah, so now I have a shower every day, and I want to build up my energy so I can cook dinner every night, but I'm not there yet. But I feel like if this keeps going the way it is, whew, I know it's slowly, but every day is another day, and I keep getting. This morning I wake up, and again I went back to sleep. I keep being able to have really amazing. Last night, I didn't have to get up throughout the night. I had a full night's sleep. That's the first time in, I don't know how long, a long time. So, yeah. My living wish, and that could happen any time, because once I cure myself, I'm going to keep going, because the body can regenerate itself, and science can't explain why it stops doing so. Well, let's see, hey? Let's see how far I can go. But my living wish is to meet Eminem. You got time, I think, but just in case, if you know Eminem and you see this video, can you tell him, please? Because I want to meet him. Just tell him, watch these videos. This chick's a bit nuts, but you might like her, because you might be a bit nuts and you don't tell anyone. Shh, bye.